Copy home position. Nope. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Welcome back to Kamen Review, episode 200. And I believe this is, 55. We're discussing episodes 28 to 30 of Kamen Rider 01. Pretty much for these three episodes, this is the end of the second story of the series. More like 2029 is pretty much the wrap up of the arc, and 30 is more like the conclusion / setup for the very next arc of the series. So the whole thing is trying to revive the Daybreak town that was destroyed prior to the events of this particular series as a autonomous Hammergear city, and to launch a public debate about it. And we find that, and it's interesting that it's revealed in this first two parts, 2029, that Hammergears cannot legally run for office. Interesting, given the fact they pretty much occupy every single form of life. So, we have a rapper, yes, a rapper, debate the rights of Hammergears. And at a certain point, because it's found out that the representative who Zaya is sponsoring, turns out basically it's a standard politics thing of, the whole thing of, he was taking bribes with Zaya. That is nothing unusual, because politicians do in fact do that. Not all of them per se, it's just that I'd say a good 10% of them probably do that. Depends on the area where people live in. The area where I live, I've heard stuff where apparently, like, the commissioners who basically were the commissioners for this very county and live in Florida, were very corrupt. They used to, but not anymore. I met all of them. They're all very nice people, and they're not corrupt at all. And they pretty much spent a lot of time cleaning up the mess left behind by their predecessors. And they hide the bribery thing under sweets. So then, of course, when they confronted the guy in the next episode, confronted him in a public forum, he's like, nah, that footage is faked, despite the fact that's exactly what happened. Are you questioning a Hammergear, over evidence like this? So, yeah, and then, of course, the guy starts he doesn't exactly act berserk, per se. I thought this was really weird, because normally they usually have these people go berserk by having their eyes turn red. Here, no, he seems pretty rational. And one thing, a lot of the time when people when these Hammergears go berserk, usually it's because somebody insults them in a very bad. This one's kind of like that, but the only violence he does is basically flip over a table. Yeah, he spooks people, but he's not attacking them. And he just slides him basically away to make him basically a rampaging robot. And also, we also have this two-parter that reveal. Okay, so we remember how Jin broke out Hanabi. So it was Fuda who helped him out. You're thinking, wait, how's that possible? Well, it turns out he has an AI chip in his head. You're like, what? An AI chip. Why the heck would he have that for? And who the heck planted there? It's implied it's the president of Zaya who did this, presumably, and apparently this AI chip's from a Hammergear whose body doesn't exist right now, and who apparently is like a slave to the president of Zaya, and apparently he controlled him to free Hanabi. Well, actually, more like Jin hacked the chip. And it was kind of a weird sequence every time we see this cloaked figure. And to imply this was actually Fua himself, this was really weird. Because watching these episodes, this seems like a bit of how should I put this? It feels like this is pulled out of left field. Because this particular cloaked person that Fua clearly did see, and had this ability to hop around, teleport, over place, like he was Nightcrawler. And then it turns out it's all in his head. I'm like, that's a weird retcon. And then he gets a new form called Rampage Bullet, which is basically more upgrade form. So apparently the form he got from the previous arc, the reason why he's able to use that is because he had a chip in his head. And it's like, yeah, it's like you can definitely say this arc is, yeah, Zaya was behind everything from the previous arc. They're the ones who made the Riot Razor stuff. They're pretty much responsible for the creation of the villains of the first arc, the terrorist organization. Hanabi, of course, still working for the arc, while Jin is independent. And because the fact this referendum, because he didn't lost the vote, Ataru quits heat intelligence. So, and he also, get this, so apparently because the guy up by heat intelligence, he wants to destroy all the Hemigears, including Isa. Which Ataru is not happy with that at all. Even fights him over it. She does eventually give reveal that she's deactivated in the next episode. But, yeah, there's more revelation. And apparently, like, because of like that Zaya pretty much purchased a majority stake in the company, it's not revealed if he bought the whole thing. It just said he bought a majority stake in the company. You could say, yeah, it's his. He does own it as a subsidiary, but he doesn't own it completely. It just say treats a subsidiary and has all the Hemigears shut down, switch over to the Zion specs, which he made, and all the Hemigears apparently were being dumped illegally for reasons. So, and apparently was that he wanted to get the company to get the satellite itself, which he doesn't get that. We'll get that later. And apparently him resigning, and of course Otto to give up his Zero driver. So, and of course the vice president stays in the company to keep up with the vice president that just take responsibility for keeping the company afloat, which is not a bad idea to do. Especially since a lot of the time he's usually depicted as somebody who wants to get Atsu. Here he's like not very happy, quit, but he's gonna keep the company afloat as best as he can, despite being vice president. And so, and then we see where Atsu picked up a Hemigear, just wiped the face off and take it with him, like, and apparently like now apparently he's working with Jin to get Isa back and his Zero driver. So also it's revealed in episode 30 that so apparently because Zai took control of Heat Intelligence, he takes control of AIMS. You're like, how is that possible? It's a government agency. How the heck, like, that is something that's not really explained here. Like, it just, he basically took over AIMS, Fua quits, off screen, excuse me. It seems like there was a bit of a time skip here between episodes. I'd say about almost a month passed by between episodes. Seems like I don't think it's been a week. I highly doubt you can do as quickly as it is in a period of a week. I'm thinking at least a month, maybe a month and a half passed by between episodes. Because there's no knowledge of a time skip. We have sort of a time skip. Where like, all the Hemigears, all the Lego stuff. Yeah, that's kind of feels like this episode. Feels like basically like a month passed by. Because I highly doubt this can be done in like a day or two with the stuff they had explained in this episode. Now, the purchase, I can think basically probably went through quickly. I can understand that. But a lot of the other stuff really makes no sense at all. The fact that you can't have this done in a period of a week. You need a bit more time with this. We could say, it's Japan. Japan stuff quickly. Yes. But I highly doubt basically as stuff as spread quickly that happened in episode 30 happened over the course of a week. I'm disbelieving about that. So then Jin proceeds to get Isa and the 01 driver back, and she's been deactivated. Oh yeah, and also it's revealed that, in this cassette, in this progress key, is Isa's data, and he reactivates her. And apparently it's real later on he has a bunch of others. Of course, he first can't activate the zero. He has the driver back, but he can't activate because he has authorization to the Zaya satellite. And then Isa, very quickly, because she's a Hemigear, she's connected to the internet, and because it can happen, of course, in seconds, because this was established also for a call by first episode with this. So, in a span of 20 seconds, she manages to get Ataru to have a new company started for him. Yes, a brand spanking new company from scratch, and also the copyrights for the Hemigears and the Zero Driver transferred to him. Because it's what his grandfather wanted. And guy is like, fine. And this is, of course, after he gives the Raid Riser thing. The thing that, of course, also that Ataru was fighting the previous arc. Yeah, let's give it to the government agents. Yeah, so they're defeated. He's defeated too. Jin fights him as well. First fights him, and he even gets access to the metal thing. And we actually revealed the new company, Hidden Manufacturing. Okay, I don't mind the name. This seems perfectly natural to happen if somebody buys in that company. If you have spare cash, you can actually, spare capital. If you have spare capital, you might be able to start a company. This is nothing unusual. Yeah, even in real life, basically, this can happen. But you gotta make sure you have money to establish it. Yes, because even if even the company's gonna make money, you gotta have money to start the company first. That's how companies work. A lot of the time. And you also gotta have investors to believe in your product. That's how the world works. Actually, it's more like how capitalism works. Is Japan believe in capitalism? Yes, though stuff is more affordable there than it is here. For some cases. But overall, 3 really good episodes. Really interesting here. Though, the other thing I didn't like about, the one big thing I like about it is the disbelief of the very quick time skip. Because I say, I don't think it's been a week. I think it's been a month. Because that's what it seemed like. I think a month passed between episodes. But despite the fact that I could continue on because I have 15 more to go for the whole series, at this point I am officially taking a break from 01. Well, it does give a graphic overview, but I'm not going to watch any more episodes for right now. But as for games and videos, this is probably going to be the last one because it's getting kind of late right now. So I'll see you tomorrow for, get this. So, we have Kamen X, Project Red, My Hero Academia, a brand spanking new anime starting tomorrow, which has been confirmed getting a dub, which thank you for that. Yeah, the second one I've seen recently where it gets it. Actually, let's see. Because we have another anime premiering this month, and this is like the third one this month, where they have the simul dub premiere the same day. Like Dr. Stone, I wasn't really surprised because basically that's happened part 1, part 2. In the case of Walk with Demon Square Immercon, I was actually quite surprised. Basically, decided to sum it up for that one. And could it happen with ReZero? Wait and see. I have to wait for news about that because I get notification via a Twitter account known as Anime Dubs, Anime News Dubs, and this is where I get my info on when stuff gets released dubbed. Now, there might be a new anime I might do tomorrow, so I have one that's working on tomorrow. That depends, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, to notifications. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.